Yes, you see this one, and then you see most of that one.
Okay.
And it's
So you see here, I'm doing a number of my cell phones here. I'm trying out broadcasting our classes. If we can get this done, maybe we'll scale it up to other classes. So if you weren't able, so what's the advantage of broadcasting this class? Any ideas? Raise your hand. Let me know what you think is an advantage to broadcast this class live and archive it. Yes, what's your name?
Josette.
Josette.
If you're not able to come to class due to,
One of the things is, if you're not able to come to class, you can participate. Let's say you have something, you have to go to a wedding, you have to go somewhere. Let's say you're sick, you have the flu. I don't want you here, right? Your other students don't want you here, but you're good enough to open up your phone or your laptop, you can view it. What's other ways? What's another advantage that people can think of? What's another advantage? Any other ideas? What's the advantage to broadcast? Broadcast and archive. You can rewatch it, or you fell asleep during this class, right? And you can watch it again. There may be some ways in which you missed the whole class. You were like at the doctor, let's say you did have the flu and you were too sick even to watch it at real time. You can archive it. You can review certain sections, right? So those are kind of ideas that part of the research is we're going to try it out. Does it work all the time? What do you think? Huh?
sure.
It should, but it doesn't, okay? So there's issues here, and how are we going to stream it? How are we going to broadcast, right? Anybody ever broadcast live? Anybody ever use Facebook Live? No? So we can do it. So we're going to try out different ways to do it. So that's my idea here in terms. And I have, how many, who has a sheet of paper? Anybody? Josette. Take out a sheet. It's nice, the first day of class, isn't it? You're not behind, you know what I mean? You haven't missed anything. But later on, we'll see what we can do. So, do me a favor, let me just put in the date here. Today is, Wednesday? And can you do me a favor, Amir, is check to see on the video camera what is this shooting, if this is shooting my the board here. It's Wednesday, January what? 17th? Right? So we'll do, my name is Dr. Sarah Rushs. Basically, we can do this. So Josette, do me a favor here, and for this one, what I'd like you to do is put your name, put a heading's name, email, phone, and let's say major, and work study. If you're qualified as work study, yes or no. Okay, and put yourself, Josette, as number 1. Okay? And then pass it on for everybody to take a roll. What do we see there?
You see this board.
Okay.
And then that's it.
Okay. So we
But
do.
I'm not sure it's like.
We're not sure. So everybody see there in the corner. What is that?
Camera.
What is your name?
Luca.
Luca. It's a camera. What kind of camera does that look like? Who has classes in Memorial? Anybody have classes? Every classroom in Memorial has this. What kind of camera? Any ideas? Anybody see cameras like this before? What have you seen them? What is your name?
My name?
Yeah.
Vincent.
Vincent, what have you seen? Where have you seen these kind of cameras?
Kind of looks like a security camera.
Looks like a security camera, right? It is a security camera. And basically, this camera up here is what we call a network IP security camera. IP stands for what? We're gonna have a lot of acronyms here. What's IP stand for? Anybody have an idea? What do you think? How many people have laptops here? One of the things, what I'm gonna have here is open up your laptops, or even your phone, really, and look up what IP stands for. So you're gonna work two. If you don't like to work, what did I say? Maybe you don't wanna be with me. So we're gonna work, think about it as we're working together as a team. So what do we find? What does IP stand for?
Internet protocol.
Internet protocol, right? Nobody's made of this, right? Everything's easy when you know it. So one of the things that you'll see in terms of technology and systems is what, there's so many acronyms there, right? So it's internet protocol. So IP is equal to internet protocol. What kind of camera? What is your, Lucas, right? Luca. So Luca, when we talked about it, so what does it mean, you think, when it says a network IP security camera? We know it's internet protocol, so what does that mean to you? You think?
So we look it up. You can like see the video stream on your computer.
Okay, maybe I can see the video stream on my computer, but what else? What does that mean to you, internet protocol? If I told you that that camera is an internet protocol camera, what does that mean to you? Have you ever been on, who's ever been on the internet before? And don't tell me you haven't, right? So what does that mean? How do you get to the internet? How do you access it? Via what? Via Wi-Fi, right? And how do you usually view it? Via Wi-Fi, via a browser, right? So via Wi-Fi, via browser, via connections, right? So basically, so that means that what? That this has what they call an IP address. What does that mean? If I wanted to get to here, everybody been to courses.miami.edu, right? How did you get there? Besides having the name, it has attached to it what? An IP address. Basically, everything just like, how would I get to you? Anybody hear of GPS, right? It's a location. So this is going to be a location too, via the internet, via the World Wide Web, to say that we can have then via a device or a website, if we want to register, that has what they call an IP address. Those IP addresses are numbers, a set of numbers, and sometimes a set of numbers are reverted to names that we can recall. So it could be an IP address in China, it could be an IP address in Europe, it could be an IP address in the United States. Anywhere in the world, what we can have is, if we want to be on the internet, we have that facility. So we can address this camera via a browser. Now, what you're saying, we could see what was streamed. We have to know whether this is open access or closed access. What do you think this is? Do you think everybody can view this? If it's a security camera, do you think everybody can view that? No. So we can have it closed, we can have certain people, we can have it password protected. Just like when you're going to Blackboard, right? You have to do what? You have to sign in via where? What do they require you to get into Blackboard? What? Yeah, basically a UM, you need some kind of UM, right, ID to gain access to that. Okay? So let me just do this. Love this. Everything we need is backup facilities here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going now to my Gmail. And notice when I go to my I go to Gmail right now, what do I say? This is not even my Gmail account. Someone else's. So we'll talk about what's the problem with that. We're sharing a computer. Maybe they have some interesting information here.
Let's use it.
Right? Maybe they have some, they've left their, basically they've left maybe their social security number. Maybe what else did they do? Geico, maybe we can see some credit card information and passwords maybe they have stored here. So one of the things here is we can see here, you see this? I want to, you see all these things, I want to sign out. Right? And I want to use another account. So I'm going to sign up with mine. So my account is drsrush@gmail.com. That's my Gmail account. Right? And then what is it going to ask me? It's going to ask me for my password. Right? And then I have my password here, and notice, see here, it says, what is the first one it says? It says live broadcast. So basically, I've subscribed to my own channel, and let's see here, what do we see? What are we seeing? Looks like me, right? And so anyways, they've already then notified, I subscribed to my own channel, and we notified already that I'm here. So Josette, in that case, you could look for the live broadcast and you could join the live broadcast. Another advantage that I'm looking at in joining a live broadcast, not only to listen to the class, but also have experts around the world join the class. So if they're not able to join us physically here, we can get from all over the world, we could get participants and they could be in some kind of web conference and we could record them as well. So I'm able to see this one. And now, if I go to my account here and I go to YouTube, let's see what I have here, and I want to switch my account, I'm going to go to this one, DRS Roshi, and now I'm going to, you see this Creator Studio? And you see here, what do I want to do? I'm going to go to, let's see if it works. You see here events? And let's see, upcoming, let's see here. What's today's date? Wednesday? You see this? I'm going to do another broadcast, and I'm going to do it through the computers. And this is called, you can put this in your notes, this is called Hangouts. Anybody ever use Google Hangouts? This is from Google. Hangouts. Do you see that? Hangouts on air. So this is able to broadcast also via YouTube. So via YouTube and a channel in YouTube, I'm able to broadcast this as well. So I'm gonna, what should I do? How can I start Hangouts on Air? Any ideas? Click on Start Hangouts on Air. And it says, let me just see, did we have a microphone here too?
Do you want me to set it?
Yeah, you want to set my mic on too? Let's see if I have a mic. And it's going to ask me, do you want to allow a mic? Yeah, just try to see if it works, right? I'm going to do that. And now I want to, what should I do in terms of start broadcast? Okay. And I want to starting my broadcast. So what's the difference here? I'm doing what? I'm gonna broadcast via my computer. Everything that I do on the computer will be broadcast. Versus, what's the difference? And I'm broadcasting from here, and I'm trying to record from here. We'll see if anything works. This we're having some problems with. This IP camera has an IP address, and this IP camera is attached to a system here to record. So I'm recording from here. I'm basically repurposing the surveillance system and saying it's a camera, why not record? I'm trying to broadcast from these phones, and I'm also now what does it say here? Live. And now I'm going to share my screen. So if you look here, you see this where it says screen share? And then it says screen there. I want to share my entire screen. I want to share it. And now I'm going to minimize this, and now I'm sharing it. Okay? Everybody with me so far? So where's my roll? Is my roll coming around? So you can get that. So is this working?
And, it is on.
So we're going to check the mic, right? So we're going to hear mic and see if we can get the mic and see if this is wireless, it's mute. Now see if it's working.
Yep.
Okay, no,
We lowered them.
yeah, okay.
We did.
And now, I want to be able to see if the audio is good. Anybody wanting to work with me? Amir here has been in my last class. I guess it's with Tommy too, was in my last class, and Amir is going to work with me. And we have Eden here, who now is trying to do, what we're going to try to do too is see if we can transcribe the lectures. And then what I'm going to try to do, and I'll give it to Eden and probably Amir, is see if, based on the lecture, to see if we can attach questions to the video. So if you want to, we'll see if we can get like a pre-test, and before you watch the video, there are questions attached to it. And if you have questions that you failed those questions, then you can review the videos. So sometimes you don't want to listen to 40 hours of lecture. Sometimes you just want to find those pieces that you can't find. So we're going to try to do this. This is what they call algorithmic, kind of finding the algorithm and trying to match the video with questions. And then we're going to try to do search engine optimization. Anybody hear about that? It's called SEO. So go ahead and look up on your computer's SEO. What does SEO stand for? Everybody's sitting here like they're on vacation. It's hard to get back, isn't it? After a long vacation.
Search engine optimization.
And what does that mean? Search engine optimization, it's good. So it stands for search engine optimization. So what do you think it means? And I always ask what it means and who cares. So what do you think it means?
Oh, yeah. It's a way to make searches easier.
Make it easier, and what else? If you're a business and you want to advertise yourself, or if you're a brand and you want to find people to find you, what do you want to do in search engine optimization? When somebody looks for you, tell me, what do you want?
They have keywords that.
Keywords that, what do you want to be? You want to, what?
Rank first.
You want to be top of the, you want to be on page 10. Page 10, nobody can find you, right? So we'll look at methods on how do you bring yourself up. Now there's some ways in which you can do ads, right? So if I looked at, for instance, if I go to Google, right, and I type in, let's say cryptocurrency, right? And what do I have here is I have some things, they'll give me a description, but then they have what is cryptocurrency I'm saying here, and let's say what is popular under cryptocurrency. What do you think is real popular now? Anybody hear of this?
Bitcoin.
Yeah, Bitcoin predictions. Who knows about that? Anybody? So what do you know about it? So if I look at Bitcoin predictions, it's where is it headed? Somebody says it's headed to 100,000, right? Somebody says here could hit 100,000. What is it for tomorrow? So if I had predictions, where do I want to be? And notice here, Bitcoin forecast, right, for 2018, right? Do I want to be in the bottom or do I want to be on page 7, right? Or if I'm going to sell something. So basically, we'll talk about then the search engine optimizations as well. And when I'm recording then, right, we'll be able to see, for instance, in live here, let's type this and just see what we got. Now, do you hear? Doesn't sound, let me see here on my volume. Right? See? And the question is whether we're going to hear people. Doesn't sound, let me see here on my volume. See, you hear the volume doesn't sound, so we have to kind of play around with it. But now you can see that we have this here. Okay? So you see here, we have this going. Okay, so I wanted to show you how we needed time to set up. So I have these, Amir's going to help me out this semester, and we're going to do some research. Also, what I want to do is some what we call predictive analytics. Anybody ever hear about that? Predictive analytics and forecasting is we'll see, for instance, many times, how many people are finance majors? What's big in finance now is what they call fintech. Anybody hear about fintech, right? Is the whole idea of what we're going to have is machines help us doing forecasting, machines helping us for advising. So what we'll be doing here is we'll be looking at some what we call automated trading systems. Automated trading systems. So we'll look at that as well. Okay. So I know I'm recording here via YouTube everything that's on the screen. I know I'm recording here live, and I'll see if I can record other places as well. Okay? So, I have here Blackboard, and if you go, everybody go to Blackboard with me. And one of the things is then Amir will get you on this and Eden as well, right? We'll need to be getting onto the system and adding. So everybody go in Blackboard. What do you see on Blackboard for BTE 210? Or what section? KY or KX? KY. We're KY. So KY meets on Wednesdays in the evenings, and I have the same class that meets KX, which meets Monday night, the same times. So that's what we were saying, and we'll see which classroom here, because we're trying to get some business. So what do you have on your screen there? You have one section, two section, what does it say? When you get it in the beginning of your Blackboard, what does yours say? Because I'm an instructor, I have different things, so I know what you have. What is your name?
Zach.
Zach. So what do you have on your Blackboard? Did you get into Blackboard?
Yeah.
And what does it say when it's courses where you're taking or courses? What does it say in the front?
Just says like where specifically.
Like, do you have something like this?
Yeah,
Courses you're
just-
taking?
It looks like very similar.
But
Yeah.
is it the same? What does it say? Do you have one section of BT 210?
There's so many, but yeah, or actually two. Two, yeah.
Actually, two. One says what?
Audit.
Audit, and what does it say? It's the course you're taking. What does it say? On top of it. Instructor. So how many people are an instructor? Raise your hand. Right? Some people are instructors. Are you an instructor? Tell me. Does yours say that? Help her out.
Yeah.
When you're sitting next to each other, what I want you to do is help out your neighbors. So this class, what we're going to do is a little bit different than other classes. What I'm going to be telling you is it's a good idea to sit next to somebody. Rather than spaces, it's a good idea to sit next to each other so you can help each other. So when somebody else gets stuck, then they can help you. It's the opposite. In the exams, you have to do your own work. But in this team way in which we're going to do things, things always don't work. I assure you, we're going to have problems. But the whole idea is, how do you solve a problem? You understand? So you want to help each other doing that. So you have two sections, right? You have the course you're taking, Zach, and what does the other one say? You have
Yeah,
audit,
yeah.
and it says the course you're teaching. So first we're going to talk about the course you're taking. And we'll see whether that's the course I want to take. Okay? So you want to check that out. Okay? So in which we'll take it. So I'm going to go to the course we're taking, and you told me it's KY, right? So this, I have a KY here, BTE 210 KY, Fundamentals of Business Technology and Innovation. And then you have that too, BTE 210 Audit. So I'm going to go to the first one, the course. It should be where I'm an instructor, but you should be the course you're taking. So let's click on that. And then the thing that we have here is we have the syllabus. So let's go to the syllabus. I have some different things here, and this is the syllabus. And let's open it up. You can open it up too, because what I want you to be able to see if you're seeing the same thing I am. Okay? And this says enable, edit, and this is my name, Dr. Sarah Rushnick. You have my telephone. The easiest way to get in touch with me is via email. You have my email there. And then office hours, since we're going to go through so much information, the best time to see me is after the class. Today, I don't know what our timing is since we're early. We may end a little bit at different times, and we'll see how we do it. But we're at this point, after the class ends, then I'll take time to see it. And then you can do the same thing on Mondays if you want to see me. I'm in the same classroom. So you can view me, you can see me, or you can get me via email, or you can contact me before, and as I put in the subject line, it's BTE 210. You know how you get spammed and so forth, you don't even recognize it, so you can get in contact with me. So the course materials that we've been using, that we can think about, is one textbook, but we'll be using, you think this was copyrighted 2017, and already things, you know, if they would have talked about Bitcoin in September 2017, for instance, Bitcoin in mid-January, is it different? Right? It's different. Is technology changing? Anybody hear of Consumer Electronics Show that was in Las Vegas? Anybody hear about that? With all the new technologies. I just came back from there, and one of the things here is everything is what you can think about as Internet of Things. Anybody know what the acronym of Internet of Things is? IoT. So put it in your notes there. You can look it up. When you look up IoT, what do you get? Look it up. IoT. We never met up.
Internet of Things.
What? Internet of Things, and what does it say it is?
A system of interrelated computing devices, mechanical and digital machines, objects, animals, or people that provide with unique identifiers and the ability to transfer data over a network.
Transfer data over a network, right? So all basically devices, medical devices, will be attached to where? to the internet using IP. What's IP in this case stand for? Internet protocol, that you can get it via a browser. You can get the location. Some of them are what? Secure. Some of them are open. Security, anybody have like the security cameras at home? They have devices. Anybody ever heard of like Alexa or, right, that you're going to be able to talk to your devices? Anybody seen they have now wearables? They have sensors. Anybody have a Fitbit or an Apple Watch or a Google Watch? All the sensors that are coming. Now the whole home can be censored. Basically, I saw things where my shower was on the internet. I tell my shower, the toilet, right? I couldn't believe it. Then I needed now an IoT toilet where not only would it clean itself, but it also would start taking, from my urine, it would take samples, right, to be able to give me, and then you have a little slot there where it would test it. I couldn't believe it. I saw, from urinals to basically my cars. Anybody hear of autonomous driving? Right, that's via what? Internet of Things, right? That it's going to be talking, my cars are going to be talking to each other. So all my devices here, rather than just my laptops and just my phone, are going to be the Internet of Things, but all my devices. So you'll have then all my devices. So what we're going to be doing is we have one book here that we'll be using, and if you click on it, you should be able to bring you to a site where you'll be able to see then on my site here. I'll be able to see what's available. So I have my book that I have, and let me do this. Let me go here. And let me type in vital source, log in, and let me put my email. This is my Miami email, and I'm going to put in my password, right, and I'm going to sign in. We'll see if it works. So here are my systems here, and I'm going to go to my bookshelf. Let's see if I have it. And this is the textbook that we're using. And this is the textbook we're using. It's called Introduction to Information Systems by Rayner and Prince. So for this class, you need to get hold of that book. I don't care how you get hold of that book, right? What I suggest you do is get it the cheapest way you can. I don't like to spend money. You'll see that I'm cheap in nature, okay? So get it the cheapest way that you can. If you can find out. So get it for this case, and then you can look at the table of contents, and you'll see here that you have Introduction to Information Systems, and then you have Ethics and Privacy, Information Security, and you can think about that this is going to be an important area now in the whole Internet of Things. Why? Where's my list? My list going around. Thank you. Everybody sign up? Good, everybody did it? So what are we doing? Okay, great. So what is it? Why the Internet of Things? Why do we have to deal with security? What do you think, Tom?
Like that could help with information, and there's information that people want to keep close to them that nobody else needs to know, like bank information too.
Right, banking. Anybody do online banking? Right, what's the problem with that? Basically, somebody getting on the thing. Anybody do online travel, right? What don't you do, right? Anybody do email? Anybody do whatever I'm doing is basically what? Via the internet. And the thing about that security is basically they can break in they can be destructive, or they can find information. And if you're a business, we talk about it can be ransomware, it can be another number of things here. So this is the book that we'll be using, and what I expect from you is how many people can read. Right? So what I expect is that you do the reading and I discuss what I find is important and what's difficult. The rest, what do I have to repeat from you, right? What you can read on your own. So what I want this to be is coming to me and saying, this is something, this here, I did some more research and I'm confused about this topic, or I'd like to discuss this in further detail. Rather than regurgitating and going from sentence by sentence of what's happening. And then deal with what do we find is real problems now and how to solve real business problems. You understand? But we all have the foundations. Remember here already I've talked about IP, right? I've talked about autonomous training. I've talked about SEO and IoT. Later on, once you know the terms of that, then get into the question of who cares? How's that going to help me in business? How's that going to help me solve problems? Everybody with me on this case? So this is what I want you to do. You can read on with this. So this is the book, how it is, and then you can see here that this is the table of contents. And along with this, you have the chapters. You have what it calls Tech Guide Hardware, Tech Guide Software, Tech Guide Cloud Computing, Tech Guide Artificial Intelligence. So we'll be going over this as well as hardware, software, cloud computing, and artificial intelligence. And these areas, especially number 3 and 4, are the present and the future of what's happening in computing. So, going back to here, this is the one book. I have this as the section for the ebook as a PDF. You can get it however you want. There's a number of different editions to the book that they require, okay? And basically, you can see here the learning objectives of understanding hardware, software, application development, networks, telecommunications, databases, trying to plan for an entire enterprise, information security, mobile, data analysis, business intelligence. I'll be going into that and we'll do actual assignments on those. Websites, mobile application prototypes. And here are important course policies. Here it's saying cell phones, smartphones, recording may not be used during class except for the express discretion of the instructor. I'm the instructor here and I say the opposite. I'm recording myself and I want you to bring your devices so we can search together and find problems. Sometimes what we'll do, since we're here from 6:30 onward, sometimes what I'll do is I'll break up the class. It's hard to sit so many hours, isn't it? I mean, our attention span is really hard. So what we'll do is we'll break it up, and sometimes we'll do the last half, we'll do labs. We'll work together in teams, and I'll help you with your teams. You understand? Because it's sometimes hard. I'll have additional guest speakers come in. I'll announce the guest speakers many times in advance. For instance, in cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin, I'll have some guest speakers on that. In security, I'll invite some security experts. In fintech, some of you can recommend some areas that we want to do to get experts along the way. So we can make it real and involved rather than just what was in the book. I expect you guys, remember reading, you can read what's in the book and then just come to me asking me, this is areas that I didn't understand. So I see it as that way. So you can think about ethics here. This is important for me, that people are ethical. But in the class and in your team, I want you to help each other. So in terms of ethics, and my ethics here is sit next to each other and help each other, work in teams and help each other in your teams, that we can work together. Okay? And then after the attendance and participation, I have here arriving late, leaving early, coming and going. Basically, I see us as adults that if you are not able to be at class or something, that you can contact me on that, and we'll start at 6:30. Grade band policies, peer review. We will be getting peer review and working in projects. Exam policies, incomplete or failure of the course, extra credit, no extra credit assigned. Will participate in class, and class participation is important. And if there are any disabilities information, you can see me after class or before class, and we can discuss it. We'll talk about tools. We'll look at some augmented reality, seeing how it can be used for businesses. We'll look at automated trading systems. We'll look at some websites and so forth. So the assignments we'll have 2 exams here. We'll have a midterm and a second exam. Instead of a comprehensive, usually what I'll do is make exam 2. There's so much information here, and one depends on the other, so it's exam 1 and exam 2. We'll be doing group projects. That's what I'll be emphasizing a lot on. We'll be doing that. I'll be giving you assignments, and there's class participation. And sometimes maybe the class participation may be remotely too. You know, that if someone's sick or someone, they can participate. We'll see if it works. Not every time it works. You see here, we have issues. We're trying to record, and Amir will see whether it even works, right? So we always have issues. We have backup and so forth. Okay? And what else do I have on the schedule here? Here's my tentative schedule. I'll give you assignments and getting started. You can see here, team exercises will even start today. We can think about week 1, week 2 and so forth. We'll see how we proceed here. Spring break, I usually don't have to tell my students when spring break is, right? You guys know better than me. The first exam, this is tentative. We say here 219 through 214. We'll do a review before the exam. So at least we'll know ahead of time when the exam is. And we'll see how far we get, what's your level and when we want to do it. But it's more or less around, what is this? Around, 4 or 5 chapters. We'll see how it is. So we'll play it by ear in terms of this, but this is it. And the final exam is in exam week. So you can check out on the website when your exam is, for this class. And we'll a couple weeks beforehand, we'll make sure that everybody's on the same page on when the final exam is. And we have it here. And then we'll do group presentations in here. We'll do some, you can see here, ethics and privacy. We'll be doing mobile. We'll be doing some web development. We'll be doing some forecasting exercises. So mostly every week we'll be doing some kind of exercises and team exercises. Okay, questions on the course syllabus. It's like the first day of class, everybody gives over the course syllabus, and this is basically, I'm going to be here. You're welcome to join me, and if not, it was nice meeting whoever decides not to. My feelings won't be hurt, okay? But otherwise, this is where we're going. Questions? Okay. You have another section, right? What did that other section say, Josette?
Audit.
Audit. So let's go to the audit section. So, we were in the course syllabus. Oh, before we do that, let's keep on with the course syllabus. Let's not even go to the audit center. Let's keep with this one, the regular section, the BT 510, and I have the syllabus, and then I have course documents. Let's go into course documents. The course documents, it says PTT. These are your PowerPoint slides for every chapter, and you can see your chapter 1. TG1 stands for what? Tech Guide. So you can see here, Tech Guide 1, Tech Guide 2, Tech Guide 3 and 4, and so forth. Okay? And I'll update those PowerPoints and other course documents I want. Okay? The next is, what's the next one? Josette, after course documents, what does it say? Assignments, right? So it's saying assignments. So let's go to assignments. What is it? How many assignments do you have right now? None. So let's do one, huh? So notice mine looks different than yours. Everybody agree? Nothing up my sleeve, right? Mine looks, why? Why does mine, Tommy, look different than yours?
You're the teacher.
Okay, I have a different role. For security purposes, I have a different role than that. So there's the instructor role, and what are you? What role are you? Student role. So these are, notice on mine it says availability, item not available. So how would I go about making the item available? I have a little pull down here, and I click on it, and what should I go to? Tommy, what do you think I should go to?
Edit the test options.
Edit the test options. Everybody see that? So I'm going to edit the test options. And one of the things that we need to know in information systems and when we deal with technology is that we have to create systems that we check ourselves. And we do it as a team. One of the things that I'm going to be teaching you is how to work in a team and how to check each other. And I consider myself a team with you. The way I'm teaching here is going to be, I'm part of the team. I'm going to lead, and sometimes you're going to lead. And one of the things we want to do is we want to back each other up, and just like technology, you want to back up what you've done. And whatever I teach you here is going to change. Guess what? In another year, 2 years, or 3, is the technology going to change? You bet. But maybe we can learn foundations of what we can do. So I have this. And if I go down, it says open the test in new windows, and then how do I make this link available? What do I need to do? Dan? Who's Dan here? What do I need to do to make this link available? What does it now say?
No.
It says no, so what should I do, Dan?
Say yes.
Okay, click it to the yes, right? All right, so I have it yes. And then it says, can you read this far? It's a little fuzzy here. Can you read this? What is it? You can get up if you can't see.
Multiple attempts.
Multiple attempts. So this is a quiz. It's a quiz of what chapter it seemed to be. It seemed to be a chapter, what did it seem to be? Quiz chapter 1. So it says multiple attempts, and how many attempts does it say I have here? 2. I can allow for multiple attempts or I cannot. So right now by default it says number of attempts are 2. I'm going to leave it at 2, which means what, Dan?
You can take it twice.
You can take it twice. My idea in giving you quizzes over the text material is that you can test yourself. You understand, Dan? I don't need to do that. You can test it yourself. You can take it once, and maybe in this case, and then you get another chance to take it, and it can be open book. On the exams itself, it's not open book. But here, when you're learning, why not have it? Do you have access all the time to the internet, right? When you're trying, I'm even telling you right now, I'm doing the opposite, even though I can say that a lot of people can look at their Facebook and they can look at other things because it's hard to concentrate. But in this way, I'm saying open up your devices so you can be active. Because if you're not active, gee, you know what, late at night, isn't it easy to drift off, you're right? So basically we need to do it. So here I'm leaving it as number of 2 attempts, and it says here, score attempt using last graded attempt. So I'm gonna say that hopefully you've learned from the first time, you get better the second time. And you can basically even, in this case, have it open as in the internet. You can go check in the book and see what are the problems. And then when you get it wrong twice, or you think there's an error here, what do you think I want you to do, Dan? Look in the book, and let's say you looked in the book and it says it's something different than what it said on the quiz. Then what do you think I want you to do?
Ask you about it. Ask you about it.
Basically document it. So put it in your notes. I want you to document it and then bring it to class, and then let's talk about that. But document it. Say, hey, document, I found it here, or I found it on the internet that was different than what's in the book. Because you think the book is God? Do you think it's written, it's another person writing it? There are differences all the time, differences of opinion. Technology changes, even from September 2017, technology changes, or there's different opinions of it. Or you say, Dr. Rushing, I heard you say something exactly the opposite of what the book is, and then I could make a mistake. The book, so this is what I want you to document. So you have here in terms of scoring it, right, multiple attempts. I'm not going to force you to do completion. Once started, this test must be completed in one sitting. Guess what? How often do we meet, Dan? Once a week. So you could even start it, right, and then every day even do a couple of questions, and then you can continue with it. So I'm not going to force you to complete it in one session. But I could set a timer. I'm not going to bother with a timer. Because you're doing these quizzes for your own and trying to find out what are your weaknesses. Because really what we want the computer to do is what? Find our weaknesses and help us, right? That's the whole idea of all this assisted, right? What's artificial intelligence? Basically to help us be more intelligent, right? So you can see here, and then if I can say display, test availability, due date. Right now I'm not going to put a due date. And then include this grade in the test score for your calculations. I'm going to include that. And then after submission, you're going to be able to look at your answers. And now I submit. And how do you know, Dan, that I did it correctly on my side?
You should be able to see it.
Who should be able to see it?
Student.
The student. And can you see it? Refresh. So what is your role? When I make something available, you don't want to run out there, because when's the next time you can see me? Is another week. Is check it there and say, you know what? I don't see it. And we want to do that with each other. Everybody clear? It's basically we're checking each other because things don't work all the time. And with technology, and that's what you want to learn, is to be able to see this over and over again. So now notice even on mine, this is highlighted, and you should see then quiz 1. So you're able to see then that quiz 1 that it's available for next week. So you know that before we meet next week, I'm having this due. I didn't put a date on it, but later on I'll put a date on it. But right now for the first week, we're coming and going. Some people have lost the classroom. Who knows? Other people are coming in. I don't want to bother. But this is what you're doing, is every week we'll have quizzes that are due for the next time that you have it. And this way you can check, basically, if you're not able to do this way, you can check on assignments. You got that, Dan? Think you're on a roll. Okay, the next thing is I have web links here, and in the web links here I have to the student resources. So I can open this up, let's see. And this gives me the book, right? And then I can view the student companion site. And you can see the companion, and you can see the resources. You can browse by chapter. What do they give you anyways? They give you, I don't even know if this is worth it, but anyways. Tech guide. Notice we'll be doing this Tech Guide 5. You see it's right up there. So you can do that Tech Guide 5. What is it? Protecting your information, assets. You can see that. And then you have some information. Okay? We got that done. All right. Questions? So we did the web links. And then if you want to send email, click on email. Do you get the email? Do you get this that I get? When you send email, do you get the same thing I do? Yes, no? Dan? Did you click send email? Do you get something?
Where is it?
Help them out.
Yes, no, we have less actually.
What do you have?
All users, all instructor users, select users, and select.
Okay, so you have some select users and so forth. Okay? And then send users and things, okay? And then when you see down here it says users, if I click down users for myself, notice what does it say for roles, right? It has me as instructor, and Dan, what's your last name?
Baptist,
Okay, what?
Baptist.
Baptist, so it has your name, okay? All right, and it's listed as student, okay? So we got that far. Okay, now let me just go back to course documents, and I have my course documents, and I have my web links. Okay. Now, let's see here. Let's see if I can change computers. Okay, so I'm changing computers a bit. And this is my other computer here. And let's see here. This is called Webcam Max. This is, I'm going to try it. And you see here I have my face here if I wanted. Let's see if it works. And there's no internet connection, so I need to get my internet connection. Let's see if I can get an internet, and I'll just go to Kane's Guest here, and I'm connecting. So at least I know that I'm connecting to my internet, and I'm moving. I don't want to, let's see if we can get some internet connection here. I got some internet connection. Okay. Now, this program is called MSN Recorder Max. And I'm using this program. I'm going to try it. And basically, what this does is this does what we call let me just log in as guest, right? This does what I call screen casting. So, Google this. Vincent, did you Google it? What did you get?
Says a screencast is a digital recording of the computer screen output, also known as a video screen capture, often containing audio narration.
So what does that mean to you? In your own words, what does that mean?
You can project your screen to other users.
What else? Anybody else find screencasting? What did you find?
Yeah, just sharing what's on your screen.
Sharing what, basically making a recording of what's on my screen, recording it to a file where other people can see it. So what's the advantage of that, Vincent, you think?
Well, if you archive it, it's easily accessible for
Okay, and why would you want to screencast what you were doing?
People can follow you easily.
People can follow what? The task you have. And why would somebody want to follow it? Because you maybe know something that someone else. You tried a new software and you wanted to show somebody how to use some software. Or you wanted to program and you wanted to show somebody how you program. What another reason why I would have wanted a screencast? Think of one, Vincent, besides people wanting to follow me? You remember, what do you think, Peter? Why would I want a screencast?
It's easier to like follow along, you can see where your mouse is going. And also
Okay, follow along, and what else? Dan, what did I tell you if you found a mistake? What do I want you to do? If you found a mistake, for instance, in the quizzes, or you found something, what did you want to do? What did I say the first thing to do?
Let you know.
Before let me know.
Document
What?
it. Document it.
Document it. Before you let me know, I want you to document it, right? Why? Have you ever gone, I hear a sound in my car, and it's making it, and what I do, I go to the car mechanic, and guess what? The sound isn't doing the same thing. And I said, but it was happening here. And he goes, what's the sound like? Whatever I'm making, wouldn't it be great if I could record it? And then basically, tell my mechanic, listen, even over the internet, listen to my car. It's making that noise, and now I'm getting these flashing lights. So it's the same thing when we're working on new software, when you're at home or you're on the beach or wherever you are, right, and you get stuck. Here, I followed the instructions. This is where I'm getting stuck. What would I want in documenting it would be to do what? To screencast. So that's why I want us to learn how to screencast. So just like this is a screencasting program, what would I do to record it, Peter? In this one. This is called the MSN Recorder Mac. What do you do? What do you think I need to do to start recording?
Click the red button.
Right. No big shakes, right? And now it tells me, do I want a full screen or do I want a selected window? I'm going to take the full screen. And now it says it's going to give a file name, and it says my video 1801 11, and it gives me a name here, right? And then it's basically, what does this first part you think mean, Peter?
I have no clue.
Well, let's think. Maybe we can get help. Any ideas? The date. 18 is what? Right? And then in 01 is what? January, and 17 is the date. So that's the beauty here. You say, I have no clue. We want to think about it and then get help from our colleagues. Or if we can't get our colleagues right here, what are we going to do? We can even search out. The beauty is we can search out to the world. Right? Have you ever kind of searched out and tried to get answers? That's what I want to teach us. And then this thing right after it is, what do you think it is? 1936-04. Time. Military time, right? So it's dating it, so that's the beauty here. It can date it, and then it tells me where it's saving it on the folder. Now, if I record now, and I want to record, what should I do, Peter?
Record.
Right, record, wow. Okay, and so it's recording here, and you see here the timing here, and I can record. Then I can go to my other areas in which I was doing before, for instance. I could go to other sites that I was looking for. So maybe I could then search then, what? Screencasting programs. Casting programs. Right, and it could tell me, right, if you want to capture images, check out best apps, right, Cam Studio, Screencast-O-Matics, Windows, web-based free. Remember I said I was cheap, I like free, right, Jing is one, ScreenFlow, right, comparison of screencasting software from Wikipedia. So here it says product name, the publisher, latest version, latest release, the software license, source code available, and it's giving me availability, right? So all of this here, it's giving me availability. And now, if I wanted to stop recording, Peter, what do you think I would have to do? Wow, Peter, we rehearsed it well, right? So we rehearsed it, and now look at this. What does it say here, Peter, on the top?
It's like an option to upload it, and if you want to add a description.
Upload it to where?
Wherever you screen.
Well, where does it say up here? Here, in this one, it says upload to YouTube. I give my username, a password, and it uploads. I can share it on a website. I can give it, these are tags. What are these tags used for? Sometimes for search engine optimization, and I can upload it to YouTube. Now, if I say upload, this version doesn't upload well. What I'd like you to do is to see if you can find a screencasting program that can also upload to YouTube. And then we can create basically a program. Do you understand this? Amir, I want you to do this too. And we can create a program that will automatically, when we do clips, upload to YouTube in a channel. And it would be nice then that we could upload so I could then do it automatically in the background. So at this point, I'm going to say close. How would I play it, Peter? This one file I did.
You click the play button.
Yeah, click the play button. Let's see. And it looks like my volume is, I'm having a problem with my volume. I don't know, it looks like I'm having problems with my recording. You see that? I don't have my voice is not coming through. But you see how it's going through each step? It's basically recording in step. You see, this looks like exactly what I was doing before. Remember screencasting? And I should hear my voice, but I'm having issues just like I was saying before. I'm having some issues with my voice, with my recording. But this should have my recording. So, we had that list here. So if you look, let me just switch back. If you look back here under my web links, you see here comparison of screencasting software. You see that there?
Yeah.
Basically, that's a link, one of the links that you get in Wikipedia for screencasting programs. So my assignment to you for next week is to find a screencasting program that you can use for what purpose, Dan? One is to document when you're going to have problems and you're going to know how to use it. And two, see if you can find one that can upload as well to YouTube.
We actually have to download it on our computer.
Download it, see what are the problems, and do a screencast. Not only find it, but what do you think I want you to do is basically do a short clip of how to use the program and evaluate the program. Do it in a couple minutes. Just like how I did it, right? Peter, just like how I would do it, right, in recording, but you can do it on your own. This is one of the ones I found. And probably what's a good idea is to work, we're going to start working in, what did I say, teams and groups. And basically there'll be like 3 people to a group. Since it really works out well here, 3 people to a group. We'll set up groups. We'll do an assignment. And each of you find a different, in your group, find at least one, each of you have, so it's 3, find at least 3 different screencasting programs. Some of you can find more and then evaluate it that we can evaluate. Everybody clear? Now, so what do we need to do? We have to get groups, and we have to have somewhere in which we can share our information. Because what's it all about is it's all about collaboration. When we really think about it, and it's not even collaboration here. What's the beauty here is, do you think there's companies that just work together in a team in one location? What do you think? No way, right? It's international. Is it always working now? Do people always have, like, buildings even? You can work from home, you can work anywhere. Now it's the idea is what? You can be anywhere and do your work many times, and a lot of times you want to meet together, you can meet virtually. And what we'll be able to do is, what I want you to do is look for programs besides the screencasting, which will do yours, is what else do you think I want to look for? Are programs in which you can work virtually together. One is Hangouts on Air, but there can be others. One is called Team Viewer. Another one is called Zoom. And what do I like about all these? What do you think? I'm cheap? What do I like? Free. So these are areas in which these are nice, because can you always, who's ever worked in a group? Has it always been great? No, right? But the idea is what's a lot of times the problem? We don't have times to meet together physically. We can meet many times virtually together. So we'll learn how to meet from one group to another virtually. So do you need to leave?
Yes.
Are you planning to be in this class?
Yeah.
Okay, so if you can, at least we're going to need to set up our groups. So I'm going to ask you to
Okay, yeah.
stay for our groups and set up before you leave me, if you plan to stay. If you plan not to be with me, right? This class goes officially goes till 9. We may be finished early, but the idea is we need to work together. So, in order to do this, I'd like you to also find a collaborative tool that you can work together. And sometimes what's nice in that collaborative tool, you may want to then at some times record that meeting together, because then you can go back and see, oh, who was there at the meeting, what did they say? I can review it just like we're doing. And learn how to use collaborative tools, because we have people from all over the world here that we can continue with. So, what do I want to do is, let's go to the audit section. So I'm going to go back to Blackboard. And I'm going to go to KY, right? I'm dealing with KY, right? So what am I looking for? KY audit. And I'm going to be, at this time, I'm going to go to course documents. And what do you see in course documents? Where's Mark? What do you see in course documents? Did you look at it? Then if you don't even have it, do you have a computer?
Oh, I didn't bring it.
Okay, so one of the things here is, Josette, you have a computer. What do you see in your computer, Josette?
Tabs.
Tabs. And then did you have something that it says course documents for the audit?
Yes.
And you clicked in
On
it?
and then it's tabs.
Okay, it's tabs. So I'm going to do build document, and you see here where it says contact folder? You see that? I'm going to click contact folder, and I'm going to put, for my contact folder, I'm going to put group, and I'm going to call myself group 0. And now I'm going to, you don't do this, just watch what I'm doing, and now I'm going to put my name, Dr. Sarah Rushnick, and I'm going to put then I'll put my Gmail account here, so I'll put DRS gmail.com, and I'll put my phone number too. Okay, and then I'm going to say permit users to view this content, track the number of views. I'm going to leave that going, and now I'm going to submit. So what do you see there? So do you see anything when you refresh? Josette?
Yeah, folder.
You saw new folders. So once I'm in my folder, I'm going to go to group 0. And in my folder, I'm gonna make a new folder, so where should I go? Content folder, and then I'm gonna call it screencasting. And in screencasting, I may then review, I can even put text here, so I can even put in text here, I can put then in the text, screencasting programs, right? And then I can even put evaluated MSN recorder, and I can say it works with Windows. Windows have trouble uploading to YouTube. And then what I want to do, and then I'm going to press submit, right? I'll submit, right? And then within there, I can put in my link and I can put in my file that I recorded by MSN file. So what I want then is for each group, and you can divide up any way you want for 3 people in a group, is to put your names, make yourself a group number, right? Put your names in. It's easy maybe to use, put in your email and your phone. And the purpose is because everybody's what role here? Instructor, right? So everybody can see everybody's work. And put that in. And then there'll be another one for after I go back to my course documents, right, and I have my group 0, I have my screencasting program, I can do another one for content folder, I can find then my collaboration software. And in this one I used Hangouts on Air. Google. Right, and now I'm going to submit, and within that I can put in my collaboration software, I can put in my collaboration file there, and I can do a description of what I found. And put your name of which one you did, so whenever you upload, put your name attached to it as well. So when you're in the group, I know that who's done the work. Okay, everybody with me so far of what's due for next week. So what is your name?
Mark.
Mark. So let's do this, Mark. So I know who everyone is in the class and what your background is what I want to do is 2 things. I want everybody to introduce themselves to everyone else and to me. Tell me what your major is. Tell me what your work experience is and what your background is in technology, and maybe also what you want to learn. You know, what I'm curious about, what you're curious about. Okay? So Mark, you want to start?
I'm Mark Sanagita. I'm a junior. I'm a finance major. In terms of work experience, I kind of just did like retail jobs throughout high school and coached summer camps, and the last 2 summers I did finance internships in San Francisco where I live.
And what did you do there?
The first one I researched like competing infrastructure funds and had to kind of see who they were using as their financial advisors and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And the second one I had to utilize this money market directory and just look up different companies and make spreadsheets.
Okay.
Pretty boring, yeah.
Okay. Is there any interest that you
No technology background.
Okay. But think about when you're finance, a lot of these now, when you think about fintech, a lot, and your goal is to do what when you finish? You're a junior. After you graduate, what's your goal? Do you have any idea what you want to do?
Ideally, I'll get a job in finance.
Doing what?
In California. Oh, I don't know specifically.
Yeah, but even like wealth management, all of these are doing what? Like auto advisors. There's a lot of systems now that are using artificial intelligence, auto advisors, the fintech. So maybe we'll be able to do some projects, and you can help us out, Mark, and we'll look at some fintech programs. And one of the nice things here is we can document as well. Okay.
Hi, I'm Jeremy, and I'm Chinese. I'm a sophomore student, majoring in management
Management and accounting, okay. And do you have any work experience?
No.
Okay. And what is your interest?
What?
What do you want to do when you finish, when you graduate? Do you have any idea?
I'm not sure yet.
You're not sure, okay. And do you want to go, you think you want to stay, you want to go back to China, or you want to, you're not sure?
I don't want to go back to China and that's so.
You do or you do?
Not,
You know.
like few years later.
Few years to get some more experience, but think about the idea now. When I was at the Consumer Electronics Show, one of the things we had is China had probably the country after the United States had the biggest impact there at the show in terms of hardware, in terms of now they're getting into now developing chips, and on the chips it's basically artificial intelligence. So it'd be interesting to see that perspective of globally how we can collaborate and work. Yes, we'll go down the row here.
I'm John. I'm a freshman majoring in financial analytics, and I'm also Chinese, and I want to find a job in financial area in the future.
Okay, so in finance, okay.
Hey, my name is Mary. I'm freshman, and I'm majoring in accounting.
Accounting, so accounting and finance, okay. So anybody hear about blockchain technology? You may want to search it now when you think about blockchain technology, but blockchain technology is talking about what we call a general ledger. So it'd be great for people with accounting background to help us in terms of blockchain and basically that general ledger. Yes.
Hi, my name is Tao. I'm from China. I'm a freshman and my major is business economics. And maybe in the later I want to find some job about it.
Okay.
Hi, my name is Nico. I'm from Monaco, so a small country.
Wow.
And yeah, my work experience, I had an internship once in Microsoft, so it was in Spain, so it was pretty cool, so like a tech company and stuff.
What did you do there?
Well, I was with the ISV department, so it's like a department who works with like say apps like Lyft, Uber and that, but in Spain. And basically like, okay, so I had to create like a database for Microsoft to have all the information of all those companies in one place. So that was what I was doing.
Okay, and basically be able to search then from that company.
So now they can use that. Like,
And are you here for an and what's your major?
business administration. I'm here on exchange. Actually.
On exchange, so
Yeah.
you're here for just the semester?
Exactly, yeah.
Okay, and then you go back, and what do you,
I go back to
to
Madrid.
Monaco, and you're,
I'm from Monaco, but I studied in Madrid.
oh, you studied in Madrid.
yeah.
Where in Madrid? What's the school?
It's called IE University,
And IU stands for what?
Instituto de Empresa.
Okay, right. I was at the Competencia.
Complutense.
Yes,
Oh, yeah,
yes. They had me lecture there in
Nice.
Madrid. Very nice. People are very friendly there.
Madrid.
Very nice. Thank you.
I'm Isabel. I'm a finance and marketing major. I'm a junior/senior, and I have some work experience in finance. I worked with MIDEM, which is investment relations, and I wrote articles and stuff.
Okay. And where are you from?
Brazil.
Brazil. Wow, we're really getting international. So it's nice in the way that you really think, why is collaboration so much important, and the tools so important, and the world really so global? You can see the differences. We've gone from China to Monaco to Brazil to Spain. Yes.
My name's Tommy. I'm health sector management major. I graduate this semester, and I do not have a lot of work experience.
Okay. And Tommy's in the healthcare sector, and he was with me last semester and continued. So maybe we'll look at it in a way with health sector. And it'd be interesting, Tommy, to look at. And anybody else in the health sector? You remember we talked about blockchain and we talked about Bitcoin? Look at this P-toy. This is a company that's called P-toy, and it has a market cap. You know, everybody's heard of Bitcoin? This is another coin called P20. It's just for the healthcare environment. And these were some young people that started in Atlanta, Georgia, saying, we're going to do healthcare and we're going to create then basically cryptocurrency. So it'll be interesting for even next week to learn more about, look at this one. We'll do some things here. It's called PTOY. It's trading just like any other currency, and try to find out about it. It's interesting in terms of healthcare. Great. So where are we here?
I'm Luca, I'm from Miami. I'm a finance and real estate major, and I've had 2 internships with commercial real estate.
Okay.
One was for a retail developer, and the other one was for a multifamily investment brokerage.
Okay, and think about that whole real estate. Even now, if you're thinking about on one area, Internet of Things, of just basically of real estate, of doing virtual tours, to basically creating now all the Internet of Things in the home, can be interesting too with real estate now, that it almost can be a competitive process to basically finding real estate and so forth. Good.
Hi, I'm Zach from Minneapolis, real estate major, and last summer I interned for a commercial real estate development company doing like the leasing redevelopment side,
Okay.
which was really interesting, yeah. And hope to do something in the real estate field,
Okay.
preferably commercial.
You
yeah.
know each other?
No, we just met.
Oh, that's funny. So it's common thread here.
So I'm Yu, I'm finance major, I'm Chinese. I have work experience from investment bank called State Street Bank.
Mm-hmm. From State Street Bank.
Yeah.
Okay, great. So basically you can see that we got a lot of finance, a lot of accounting, health sector, real estate. Interesting. Yes.
I'm Peter from Chicago, I'm a finance major. I had an internship this summer doing logistics for a parent holding company.
Okay.
I'm Vincent, studying finance in junior, and the only real intern experience I've had came this last summer. I helped a startup financial services blog just get up and running.
Okay. So maybe we'll do some, invite maybe some fintech kind of guest speakers as well to bring that out, since we have a lot. Yes.
I'm Jen, I'm from New Jersey, I'm a sophomore, and I don't really have any
And what's your major? Do you have
I'm
a
a financial marketing major.
financial marketing? Okay.
Hi, my name is Chrisette. I'm from Miami. I'm a management major. I was a sales associate through high school.
Mhm.
Then a clerical assistant at a core reporting firm. I'm a marketing intern here at Chartwell's, and now I'm a sales leader at Pier 1.
Okay. And what's your goal after you graduate? What year are you?
I'm a junior.
Okay.
And I don't know, the dream is CEO, but we'll see.
CEO. Okay. It's a good dream. You know, and then that's if that's your dream here, I think that's interesting in terms of team, maybe in terms of getting the team. And you know that even if you're not straight programming, you're going to deal with technology all the time, and you're going to have to be more efficient and try to deal with it. Okay, so we got it. So what I suggest we do is we get into teams, create your folders, and at least get all the systems together, and then talk about how you're going then to do, what are the 2 assignments together as a team? Is what? Screencasting programs to find, and what else? Collaboration tools, and try to play around with a couple of collaboration tools. And the basic ways is that you even can do collaboration tools and then do your screencasting together, you know, and basically record yourselves and see what we can do. And then the beauty here is we can share and make comments when you upload it. Make comments of what you found is good, what were the disadvantages, the advantages, that we can start evaluating. Okay?
How many people should we have in a group?
3. So we basically can do three people to a group, and we basically have 3s here, and then I think we're perfect. And then we can, and before we leave today, what I want to make sure is that everybody has their groups, and we get all of this, at least all of this, before we leave, get on your audit area, And you know, anytime you're gonna upload, where you're gonna do it in your audit area, since you have the instructor. And when you put in your emails and your phone numbers, if your group is having problems, it's easy to reach out to other groups. And then later on, depending on, we have different ways, we can, you know, team together with other groups, you know, that one group, hey, my real estate group wants to be with my finance, you know, or my management wants to help others. Or I want to be basically blending with my Chinese, that I don't have all my Chinese all together. You know, we need to have blending, so we can do those together. So do that now. We'll think about this as a team, and after we finish all that, then we'll end early today, and I'll work with individual groups and help you out. And you may even want to start, what I would do is I'd start even investigating the screencasting now, and the groups now, so we can even you finished. You know what I mean? You can basically start with at least the beginning of your projects for next time. And that's how I want to do the work, is that we'll be working in teams later on in the group, that we can make it more hands-on. That's what I want to do, is to bring it to life rather than just reading, and rather than going through PowerPoints and just going to theory, but getting our hands, what I call dirty, basically, and seeing what works, what isn't. And you can bring up ideas of what you found. And internationally, what's being done differently in different countries, right? And what are the things? Sometimes in the different countries, they have different advancements because they don't have what we call legacy systems, you know, in starting out. And what are the ways in which to work globally? So that's one of the beauties here, that we have an international group. Okay? Any other questions? And then, Amir, maybe we can stop the recording and see if we can show how the recordings worked. Okay? And if you have questions, I'm here. So work now together in groups, and we'll see if it's working.
So they wanted to stop.
Yeah. So stop that.
Should I stop?
What?
Should I stop?
Yeah, we can start that. Let me just go to, let me go back here.
Oh, okay.
You remember the other one had like a button?
Yeah, we need to tell them, okay? Hold on, let me just see here, hold on. No, we have to finalize it first, put it back on. I don't think this works. Let's see. You see this? I don't think it works. Did we have to start, did it start blinking when we did this?
Yeah, you press on start and it comes like red and green comes. It didn't even work.
It's not so we need a contact. Did you write down who we need to contact?
Yeah. Room supported maybe they.
Oh, do me a favor.
Do you want to write the email?
No, go downstairs around C212. We never checked, huh?
Nope.
Check now anyways, at least now, because we don't know in the 6:30. Next time we'll check at 6:30.
I'll check first and then.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so let me do this. Let me stop my Facebook. Stop sharing. So I should see, what am I supposed to see? I should see my blackboard, and I should see my audit area. BTE audit, K1. And then if I go to course documents.
So you want us to do separate folders?
Yeah, so Josette, put yourself as, we have group 1, put yourself as group 2.
Yeah, I only did that because I didn't know if I was.
Yeah, now you can know, but see how this moves around? You can switch yourself over. So put yourself as group 2. And then Peter, Vincent, and Dan, we got group 1. And make yourself folders within that. You know, the screen, at least make the folders now, screencasting and collaboration. And now you can search and see what you're finding, and you can play around with it so we can get it. Yes?
I don't have it.
You don't have what?
The section.
Oh, you're not in audit.
Yeah.
Okay, folks, you're listening to me? What is your name again? Ayu?
Yeah.
Ayu is not listed in the audit section. So what I want us to think is to be clever, to think, how can we get her enrolled?
Is she enrolled in class?
She's enrolled in the class, but she's not in the audit section. Do you guys, can you enroll her? Don't look at me like, you gotta think. What role do you have? What are you all? What role do you have? If I go to, where should I go? If I go, let me see here. You see, do you have users and groups? So what do you think we should do? Should we go into users? Okay. And am I in the right one? Am I in KY? Yeah. Are this you guys? Yes, right? So what do you think? How can we enroll her?
See, no?
Find users, right? So how can we enroll her? Remove, right? It says remove from class, but how find users to what? You see up here? What does it say? Help her out. Which group are you in?
We're in the
You
same
have to
group.
go, okay, so help her. So what does it say here? Find users to enroll. And in this case, the first row will make her student, then we can upgrade her later. So in this case, enter one or more usernames. Does she have a username here? Enter or separate multiple, browse. What is browse here? Username contains, right? Equal start. So we got to figure out, so work together as a team here and help her to try to figure out what could be her username. And the options here is user information, enrollment, last, system roles. So enroll her as a student and then lift her up, I'll help you, and then try to promote her from student, first put her as a student, and then promote her to be instructor.
Is it?
It's empty.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
I
what-
think I checked when I was coming out and it was empty. Then like 6:30.
Right here? Yeah.
Okay, so let's check on
Is that even-
Next one.
I don't even know if that's how you add it. I don't even know if you can
next
add
Wednesday, and then
Bring
let's
more
do the
sheets.
same thing for Monday.
What?
Mondays 6:30 until 9.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you make it then, or no?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I
Okay,
haven't
okay.
I have a lab, so and we don't. So
Oh,
next
okay.
week they will. So I see. But
Okay.
Wednesdays I'm open. I'll come every Wednesday.
Okay, so we're open there, and then maybe we'll do it. Okay.
And then. So this weekend, I'm finishing a proposal. I'll send you a copy and then send another professor, my English professor, another copy. It's somewhere similar to what we discussed, but it's for medical.
Okay, all right, so we'll.
You take a look at it.
I'll take a look at it, okay, great. And I'll bring it. So let's do this, I think we're finished with these. We
Do you
can-
want me to stop?
Yeah, we can stop it. This is not